Hello, welcome to the Conquering Hill podcast and more and talk show. I'm your host, Nicholas Ganger, and any way you slice it, I'm going to dice it for you today, February 16th. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you swinging by for a little bit of inspiration, motivation to start your day. It's a great day to be alive. Here I am in Panama at the Sour Sop Hostel. No matter where you are, if it's cold or if it's warm outside, I truly appreciate you having a listen today. So, today I would like to talk to you about sacrifice. One sacrifice a day. So, if we ever want to accomplish great things in our life, we're going to have to learn how to sacrifice certain things along the way to get there, to reach those heights. So, think about some of those things that you are willing to sacrifice today to live a better life, to become a better person, and to live your best life. No matter what it is, it could be a small thing, it can be a large thing, but you're going to have to learn to sacrifice certain things along the way to get exactly where you want to be to accomplish those big goals, those big ideas, and to live your dreams without a doubt. So, what are those things? What are those things that you could sacrifice today? Just one thing. Could you sacrifice one thing today and kind of create a snowball effect moving forward every single day? It could be a small thing. It could be, one less hour of television today. It could be one less hour of screen time today. It could be getting seconds at the dinner table instead of just being satisfied with one plate. It could be, smoking one less cigarette today. It could be having one less drink after work. Some certain things, certain habits that we have, even though they might not be the best habits for ourselves, sometimes they're a little difficult to kick and to get rid of out of your life. It doesn't happen overnight. Cold turkey is for some, but not for all. Right? I was able to cold turkey, stop drinking cold turkey at one point. Smoking cigarettes, I have to do it that way. Weaning myself off was just a no go. I remember smoking packs of cigarettes, but I learned to weigh myself off by rolling them, and then eventually I just had to cut it off. So I did wane it eventually, but eventually you do have to go cold turkey. I think sometimes it's all about up here, the psychological factor. The sacrificing things is also up here, the psychological factor. What are you willing to give up that maybe you don't think it's harming you, or is that detrimental to your health? However, but it is consuming your time. So certain things that you might not necessarily need or are benefiting you throughout the day, you can get rid of those things. You can sacrifice those things to use that time, you know, to get better, to learn a new skill, to have more family time, to become more present, to get outside, to enjoy nature. You know, there's a plethora of things that you could do more wisely with your time, and myself included, right? So, what is something that you feel like you can sacrifice today? Start with one thing. So if you can learn to just start with one thing every single day, if you're sacrificing one thing today, tomorrow, and the next day, and you're filling up that time, the time becomes a vacuum for something better. Whether you want to start exercising or you go for a walk or a hike, ride a bike, or if you want to start picking up a book and start reading instead of, being on your phone or watching television or a movie every night before you get home, trying to learn a new language, starting to write something. All these things could be could be done because you are sacrificing something that maybe you just don't need. Maybe there's no point to having it. Um, think about that because along the way you're gonna have to sacrifice things. When I first started saving money for the construction of the core of this hostel, this place, I gave up drinking alcohol. I gave up going out to bars to waste money. I said at the time I did still smoke some pot because that was one thing that was always difficult for me to quit. But there's certain things I did give up because I didn't need those things in my life anymore. Mostly because of financial reasons, but I still understood if I wanted to actually build something, I was gonna have to give up something to get more money. I didn't want to spend and waste money. Well, what am I gonna do? I have to sacrifice certain things that I waste money on. So along the way, I learned, you know what? This isn't there's no point to this anymore. There's no point to going to a bar just to buying 2 or 3 beers. I'm already $20, $30 deep for what? Right? So that money I was able to save and use for a greater purpose to reach the goals that I set forth. So think about something that you are aiming for right now. Think about something that you really want to do, but maybe you don't know how to get started, or maybe you're just afraid to start, but you can and you will and you must, but you're going to have to learn to sacrifice a certain thing or things to get there. Sometimes it could be time. You want to go to bed earlier, or you want to wake up late. What do you want to do? Right? If you could sacrifice a half hour of sleep every single day, if you woke up a half hour every single day, a little earlier, a half hour, you just gain yourself a half hour to do something, to get better, to make money. That particular half hour could be utilized in any which way, shape, or form to get better, to live a better life, to have a better tomorrow. Certain things like that are small steps, one sacrifice today. So take a look, think about it, because there are many things that we all can do, myself included, that we could do less of, that we don't necessarily need. We're not gaining anything from, you know. So I know there's some things in your life that you probably don't want to do, but out of habit you do it because you've been doing it so long. It's hard to break those habits, whether or not they're that detrimental to your health or not. But they're just the way it's always been. So if you can learn to cut those back, to sacrifice those particular things and actions that you do on a daily basis, you'll start accumulating more and more free time. And with that free time, you're going to be more apt to actually do something with that free time. It's a little more meaningful, a little more beneficial to your health, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, right? So take a step back. Take a step back. Think about one thing that you could sacrifice today. As the birds chirp in the background, think about one thing you could give up today, that you can sacrifice today, and start there. Start with that one simple thing. Then you'll find that you probably never needed that thing in the first place. And when tomorrow comes, if you've already learned to give up that one particular thing from today, tomorrow, you might think about another thing that you can give up. So then you start creating some momentum. You start creating this momentum where it actually starts feeling good. You start getting a little more energy. You start realizing, like, I'm in control now. I'm in control of what's going on around me, what I'm consuming, whether it's orally or visually, everything around us. We're always consuming something. So if you control what you're actually consuming at all times, sacrificing things that you don't necessarily want, right? We are sometimes, maybe we wake up too tired. Well, why do you wake up tired? Well, you were watching a television show really late, or you were on your phone really late, and instead of turning it off, putting it down, and trying to get that extra hour of sleep. Why are you really tired in the morning? Well, you got up and you hit the snooze button 3 times instead of hopping right out of your bed. And like myself, I hammer out my 41 push-ups, or hop right out of bed and do 20 jumping jacks. Get the heart rate going. Do something right off the bat, right out of the gate, and get your blood flowing right off the bat. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to put a half-hour workout in right away. You don't have to do that if it doesn't serve you right away. But you can do something to get your heart rate going. You can do something to get that blood moving. You can do something to remind yourself that it's a new day. I'm alive. I'm gonna have a great day. You can do all those things. But what particular steps do you want to take? What particular things can you sacrifice today to do those things? So contemplate it. Get a pen and paper. Get a pen and paper and start writing down certain things that you could You can sacrifice it. You could probably live without them, out with, and think about, do I need these particular things in my life? Do I need to be consuming these particular things? Do I need to be wasting so much time with these things, worrying about these particular things every single day? Time. Are you wasting your time doing things that doesn't matter? Trivial things. Doing things over and over again, but they're just not working. Are you wasting your time with someone that doesn't care? You're wasting your time at a job that you don't like to go to every single day. Are you wasting valuable time? Because you can sacrifice certain things that don't serve you. For whatever reason, we keep doing it out of habit. Start with one. So the one sacrifice a day challenge for you starts with your decision. Take a hard look what you do today. Take a hard look at your schedule today and see if you can cut something out. See if you can do less with one thing. I know you can try it because it actually becomes a game in a sense. Like you're challenging yourself, and then all of a sudden you'll feel good if you can do it, and you'll feel fine. And you'll create that momentum for tomorrow. And then once you accumulate all that free time and all that free energy, you're going to start being able to utilizing that time and energy for something better, something more meaningful, something more greater. You'll have a purpose. And you'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel very, very good about yourself. So think about what it is. That is a true question. I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Well, a long time ago when it was fairly cheap. Let me cut it back. Let me cut it back to half a pack. Well, you know what? I'm not going to buy cigarettes anymore. I'm going to bum cigarettes off of people first because I don't want to spend money. Well, you know what? I shouldn't even do that. So the process of quitting, the process of sacrificing that, I got there. I know you can get there. Alcohol. The process of quitting, you're realizing where the money's going, you're realizing your body doesn't feel that good. There's no point in doing it all the time, Again, having one drink is not going to hurt you if it tastes great, done wine with one. No judging. But for me personally, it's not needed, right? So one particular thing, one sacrifice, right? Smoking weed, sacrificing the ritual of getting out of work and blazing the first thing possible is what I did. Get rid of it. You can get rid of those things. You can get rid of those habits one at a time. Sleeping. I choose to wake up every single morning at 6 a.m. to start my day, to get my exercise, my meditation in before I come live to you here on my Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can find the replay on my Spotify channel and YouTube channel as well. Sacrifice some sleep time. No matter what time I go to bed, I try to get down a little earlier than normal, but not always possible. But I'm still going to wake up at 6. I'm still going to sacrifice the sleep to start my day a little bit earlier than normal. A little bit earlier. By the end of the week, sometimes a little bit tired. So by Saturday, Sunday, I do get a chance to sleep a little bit more. Kind of rejuvenate, refresh. But I made that sacrifice throughout the week to become better, to get a little more healthier, to get in the right mindset. So that's one particular thing that I can do. What about TV shows? I don't watch too much television. My daughter's got me hooked on this series called Manifest. It's already happened. I'm almost done with it. I want to freaking Manifest binge in the United States with my daughter. But the series is almost over. I'm not sure what I've gained from it. if at all. But sometimes, TV shows are just meant for entertainment. That's about it. Watching sports. That's about it. Now no more football. What am I watching? I don't watch much television. Screen time, cell phone usage. I'm a culprit. I get a lot of work done on it. Read a lot of news on it. Everything's there. So it seems like there's no reason not to be using it all times. But putting it down a little bit longer than normal feels good. Staying away from it a little bit longer than normal feels good. I mean, being here, there's so much to be done. It's easier. One thing at a time. Now when I generally eat dinner, I can have 2 or 3 plates easy. I'll eat till I'm full because that's just the way I've always eaten in my life. But I know if I want to feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter, maybe I shouldn't eat as much. One plate is enough. How about eating a little bit later, starting your day off? Well, intermittent fasting. How about not having breakfast right away? Creating that hunger inside of you, creating that the hunger inside of you where you want to keep pushing through. You actually will work a little bit better when you're a little bit hungry. I tend to, whenever I do, eat lunch or I'm snacking at work at the restaurant, I kind of slow down. You don't have to slow down. You got to keep going. So I know if I do that, I'm going to slow down. So what do? I got to sacrifice that hunger and keep going. So it's up to you. What are you willing to sacrifice today? One thing. One thing, think about it. I know it's there. I know it's easy. To actually do it is the harder part, but in all actuality, it really isn't. It really isn't. It's just a simple decision, simple choice to say, nah, today I'm not gonna. Today I'm not gonna smoke a full pack of cigarettes. Today I'm not gonna smoke a half a pack of cigarettes. I'm just gonna have, maybe about 3 or 4. Not today. Instead of after get out of work, I'm not gonna have my normal, 2, 3 beers or a 6-pack. I'm just gonna have one. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to wake up a little bit earlier. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of sleep to get some things done around the house, to get some exercise in, to start reading that book, to start writing that book, to start practicing that instrument. I'm going to go to work a little bit earlier. I'm going to stay at work a little bit later to finish that project, to make some more calls. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit more time to get exactly where I need to be. So the choice is yours. But I do challenge you, one sacrifice a day. See how far you can make it. I appreciate you coming here and joining me today here at the Stardust Apostle live on my Conquering Hill podcast, the morning talk show. Hopefully I've created a little bit of inspiration and motivation for you with this challenge. Let me know how it turns out. I'm eager to see. Thank you so much. Have a great day.